Now I have a great pleasure to invite David Jacoby. David is a man from the hard security world. She decided to join us, and he will try to convince us that security and the science of security is simple, no problem. He works in Kaspersky lab, senior specialist for security analysis. So, over to you.
I'm actually a bit worried that you were approached by two elderly men yesterday. I hope everything was fine. Yeah, are you sure? I'm so sorry to hear that. Hello everyone, how are you? How are you? You're good? Nice. Nice. So it's an honor for me to be here, because I normally don't go to conference like this. I work in the security industry, doing penetration testing, security audits, pure hacking, let's call it that. So it's actually quite interesting to sit here and listen to the other presentations, because it's normally nothing that I do. I have a different view of how we should secure our kids, because it's after Boris' extremely depressing presentation, I want to share some thoughts on how we should actually educate people in computer security. Not specifically safety online, but in IT security. So I made this presentation. It's mostly a presentation that I do for CEOs or CTOs at different companies. It's called Hacking the Security Industry for Fun and Profit. And when I talk about hacking, I'm not talking about a criminal act, something that's illegal. I'm talking about being creative, being innovative. Hacking in the traditional sense of making something better, because the entire security industry itself is completely broken right now. It does not work, okay? It doesn't work. The problem is that we want to be secure. Everyone wants to be secure, okay? But it's just a thought. There's no action to it. We just talk a lot of, sorry for my language right now, talk a lot of bullshit, okay? We say that we want to be secure, we want to do a lot of good things, but nothing is really happening. Because if something would be happening, we wouldn't have so many problems out there on the internet today. We don't really learn how to get secure. Okay, we talk about all these different problems out there. But think about it, how do we actually educate people today? What do we tell them? What information do we share to help people? And when I say people, it's everything from teenagers, the youth, to adults. It's everyone. How do we actually communicate security with people? How many of you have kids? So it's about half of the audience. Do you spend time talking about simple things as how to generate a good password with your kids? Do you do that? If you do, raise your hand. Okay, I see everyone who raised their hand is going to be a guinea pig in my presentation. It's perfect. But we talk about threats. Boris had a very interesting presentation about threats. So we learn about threats, but we don't learn about what to do about these threats, how to actually solve them. But what kind of threats do we have in our life today? What threats? So we have the lack of education. That's a threat. That we have been teaching our kids, ourselves, the same thing as we've been talking about since the 1980s. Boris made a good point where he said we have to follow what the kids are doing. And the same thing when it comes to normal corporate security or your security in your house. Last year I was invited to a conference here in Poland where I talked about how I hacked my home. My smart TV, my Blu-ray player, my PlayStation 4, my printer, my storage device, everything is compromised. Think about it. We have all those hardwares in our homes. We have all these different apps that we've seen in the other presentations. It's vulnerable, but we don't really know what to do about it. Awareness is a buzzword that the security industry uses all the time. Awareness, okay? Is there anyone in the room who can tell me what is awareness? No one. Interesting. So how many of you have ever heard the word awareness in the same, in the sentence of computer security? Have you ever heard people talk about awareness? Okay, you've heard people talk about awareness, but you have no idea what it is. That is very interesting. So awareness, is it that you should be aware of the threats that's out there? Is it that you should be aware of the different vulnerabilities? Is it that you should be aware of what you're actually doing online, how you're treating yourself? What's your threats for you as an individual? Okay? Oh, sorry. What about the mindset? The mindset, we don't need technology to solve everything, okay? We need to go back to basics, to the really simple thing, to just have a normal conversation and think about security, think about privacy, think about these things that might infect you and your online presence, okay? It's a normal mindset, not a product, okay? A lot of kids today and a lot of, people that's responsible for security in your companies, or even like as an adult that you have to take care of your physical security in your home, we always focus on technology and products and services, not about the mindset, the simple mindset. Knowledge, where do we get knowledge from? Okay, we read books, we read information online, we talk to other adults, or we talk to people that we work with, people who we trust. The problem is that the information... Okay, so have you ever played this game? I don't know the Polish word for it, but if I tell you a phrase, you have to tell your neighbor the same phrase, and you have to go like from one person to another person, and at the end, it's absolutely not the same thing as I said. Do you know this game? Yes, that's computer security for you, okay? You share, you talk to people, it gets modified, and you add truth or you add lies, and at the end it's a complete nightmare. This is what we have to deal with today. People don't even know how to generate a simple password, for example. People don't even know the impact of patch management. Okay? So how often do you guys see a small indication saying there's a new security update for your product? For your phone, your laptop, whatever. How often do you guys see that? And now, all the time. Do you patch? Do you update all the time? Later. Some say yes, some say no, later. It's a nightmare. It's like everyone knows what to do, but no one does it. Everyone knows that you should have a helmet when you ride your bike. No one has it. Especially not parents, okay? You try to tell the kids how to act online, but you don't do it yourself. You tell your kids to wear a helmet when you ride the bike, but you don't have a helmet yourself. It's sickening. It's not okay. As was it you, David, who said, so you're telling your kids not to meet people online, but then you go on Tinder yourself. You're sending a message that's completely wrong to what you're doing yourself. We have to change that. Also, computer security there's no other industry in the entire world who has so many bad excuses than the IT industry. IT security is expensive. Remembering 20 unique passwords is impossible. We have all these different excuses, and it's completely crap. They're just excuses because we're lazy. We're very lazy people. And we also have to take computer security and privacy personal, okay? You have to deal with your shit. I don't know how to put it in any other language. You have to deal with your crap, okay? Your identity online, your profiles, your email, your everything is your problem. You fix it. Don't point fingers on all the vendors. Okay, the vendors has all these big agreements, but as David also said, they make money. Nothing is for free, okay? You have a choice to use Facebook. You have a choice to use Twitter, Skype, Instagram, whatever you want to do. You have a choice. And if you use those services, you better fix your own stuff, okay? It's very simple. And we're trying to make a living. So the people who work in the security industry, it's very difficult to stand on stage working for an international security company, like I do, and say, product is not important. Services is not important. I can tell you that my marketing people and PR people, they have nightmares before I go on stage every single time. Because they know that I will not sell products or talk about what we do as a company. But that's obviously what they want us to do. And think about it. Every person here who represents an organization that has some kind of services, consultants or whatever, is all about the money, okay? But we have to stop ignoring that and actually make a difference. So we try to make a living, but we do not try to make the world change. And this is where you guys come in. Because I can stand here on stage and I can tell you all these different things that you probably already know. But if we don't start acting now, we will end up nowhere, okay? So we have to try to make a change. And I cannot do it myself. I cannot just press a single button and say, now we're good. We fixed internet. We fixed everything. There's no cyberbullying. There's no viruses. There's no vulnerabilities. Everything's fine. We have to work together. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to talk to each other, to network, share ideas, ask questions to all the speakers. Okay? And most important of all, we have to do something that we enjoy. Okay? I can see some faces here in the audience. You look so tired. Okay? You look extremely tired. You don't even want to be here. Your boss probably told you that you should be here, okay? If this is the case, I hope I'm not offending anyone. If this is the case, please find another job, because there's always room for more creative and innovative people. But we are here because we actually care, most of us. Not everyone, but most of us. And I want to talk about hacking. Remember I told that before. Hacking. I'm a hacker, okay? I'm not a criminal, but I'm a hacker. My job is to create... See, one person is already leaving. Bye-bye. I want to talk about the traditional way of hacking, okay? Hacking is being creative. Taking something, make it better. Using this product or this service or this mindset to do something that it was not intended to do. Okay? And we need more hackers. We really need more hackers. So this is the description of a hacker from the Wikipedia page. I'll just read it out loud, okay? A hacker is one who enjoys the intellectual challenge and creatively overcoming and circumventing limitations of programming systems and who tries to extend their capabilities. I don't know if the translator is having a problem translating this into Polish. But when I saw this, I did some more research. I went to TED. How many of you know TED.com? Not a lot of people. No? Interesting. I really recommend that you go to TED.com. And I hope audio, I'm looking at you now, I hope there's a video coming up here. There's a video, and I want audio. Yes.
A lot of people think of hackers as geeky computer nerds who live in their parents' basement and spread computer viruses. I don't see it that way. Hackers are innovators. Hackers are people who challenge and change the systems to make them work differently, to make them work better. It's just how they think. It's a mindset. I'm growing up in a world that needs more people with the hacker mindset. And not just for technology. Everything is up for being hacked. Even skiing. Even education. So whether it's Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, or Shane McConkey, having the hacker mindset can change the world.
Having the hacker mindset can change the world. And everything is up for being hacked. This is a kid who quit school because he didn't believe in the way that we educated children today. So he quit school and he hacked his own education. And when his fellow students, same age as him, graduated that class, he had better grades than them. Because he found out that the way he wanted to learn things was practical, not just theoretical. The traditional way of educating people in anything is fundamentally broken. It's year 2016 now. We have to change the way that we educate people. Okay? So I decided to hack the entire security industry, which means that I wanted to see if I could come up with new clever ideas on how to perform the same thing as we're doing right now. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry that is now telling you that it's fundamentally broken, that it does not work. Okay? One example is something called automated vulnerability scanning. Almost all big corporations today use automated vulnerability scanning. It's a service where you can scan your different systems that you have, your web server, your mail server, your internal networks, for vulnerabilities on a weekly basis. Let's put it like this. It's also a requirement in something called PCI, the payment card industry. So every single app on your phone, every single company that deals with credit card numbers is forced to use this automated vulnerability scanning solution. There's many vendors. I'm not pointing fingers on a specific vendor. It's the concept that's broken. And I'll give you one example. So what's the Polish word for password? Hasło. Okay, what? Okay. So let's say that I have a website, okay? And I put a file on my website with the name hasło.txt or whatever, .pdf. In that file, I have all my passwords to every single system. Okay? Does that sound like a good idea? No. The funny thing is that there's no product in the entire world that will find that file. Because they don't use localized databases. They don't look for Polish words, Polish file names, Polish directories. They look for English file names and English directories. So they will find the file password.txt, but they will not find the file, yes, what he said, .txt. But when you run the scan, you run this software, you'll get a thumbs up saying everything's secure, you're good to go, and the next day you might be hacked. And think about it, this is for all the apps that collects credit card information, everything that deals with credit card information. It's fundamentally broken. there's so many different false perceptions out there. For example, IT security is very expensive. Passwords are difficult to remember. Do you agree? We're not hackers. Management doesn't give enough time. Parents doesn't give it. Teachers doesn't teach us enough computer security. I'm not a target. Who wants to hack me? Okay. I'm going to skip this part with the consultants, but I want to have a person here on stage for a little game. Okay, Niels, you go. So I'm going to skip this, and we're going to talk about passwords. Can you have a microphone? Niels need a microphone. Does it work? Come on stage.
I don't know, yes.
So this is my new best friend, okay? Never met him before. I promise. The thing is, do you agree with the statement that remembering 20 unique passwords is difficult?
It is.
Is it impossible?
It's impossible for a lot of people.
Okay.
And for me as well.
Okay, that's good. What if I could teach you how to remember 20 unique, very strong, complex passwords with exclamation marks and whatever?
I would say bring it on.
Bring it on. Okay, game's on. Okay, this is just one example on how to hack the way we think about different things. For example, passwords. So what is the most important thing with a password?
That it has a combination of numbers, letters, maybe you put an exclamation mark in there, and a lot of variety.
Okay, it's wrong. Sorry, it's completely wrong. The most important thing with the password right now, remember, it's 2016,
yes,
is that it's unique, that you don't use the same password on every single site.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, the complexity, was valid in the 1980s, okay? I don't know if you were even born in the 1980s.
I was.
You was? Okay. Because then you had one mainframe. You had to log in, one account, one password.
Exactly.
Now, how many passwords do you have?
I would say around 7.
7. Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. 7. What about this? Should passwords be personal?
They have to be personal.
Well, what I mean is personal.
Oh, personal as in towards yourself? Not necessarily.
No, it's also a false perception. It's completely wrong. Why? If you make them personal, you will remember them, okay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So let's try to hack passwords.
Okay.
Are you a good singer?
I'm not a good singer. But
Okay, I want to sing a song to the audience.
Okay.
A song that you will remember until you die, like a lullaby. I'll give you an example, but you can't take this one. Happy birthday to you. You can't use this one.
Okay.
Sing it.
A random song.
But you have to, it's something personal to you.
Okay. An existing song that is personal to me.
Or a phrase from a movie. Let's make it simple. A phrase from a movie. Luke, I'm your father.
Okay.
Or whatever. Something. Something that's personal to you.
Okay, let me give this a thought. Okay, I'm going to use Titanic because this is the best movie ever made.
Titanic.
And, yes. Jack, hold me.
What was the phrase?
Hold me, Jack.
Hold me, Jack. This is perfect. Hold me, Jack. Let's go with that. So you take hold me, Jack. Just that phrase is a quite good password.
If we would use it.
Yeah.
Might
Just
be.
hold me, Jack is a good password.
Yes.
But you don't have exclamation mark or big letters or capitals.
We'll add them.
So use hold me, Jack. In every word, the first letter should be a capital, a big one.
Yes.
Okay. Hold me, Jack. You'll remember that. We're not done. We're not done.
I know.
Okay. You will base all your unique passwords on hold me, Jack. Okay. Now give me a special character of your choice.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, a special a letter.
Let's go for
special
the
character, like exclamation mark.
Okay, let's go for the exclamation mark.
hold me Jack, exclamation mark. And now you use the power of association. Do you know what that is?
In what way?
It's not. It's a power of association.
No, I have no idea.
It's like saying, do you know what a car is? In what way?
No, so I'll say no.
A car is a car. Yeah. The power of association is when I say a word, when you look at something, when you see something, you associate that thing, that word, with something.
Yes.
So do you have Facebook?
I do.
Yes. Quickly, what is the first thing that you think of when I say Facebook?
Photos.
Photos. Hold me, Jack, exclamation mark, photos. Your password to Facebook. Do you have Twitter?
Yes.
First thing that you think of when I say Twitter?
140.
140. Hold me, Jack, exclamation mark.
140.
140. Do you have Skype?
Yes.
Same thing.
Telephone.
Telephone. You get the idea, right? Do you have YouPorn?
At least not an account.
Okay. But you get the... See, it's very simple to create a unique password that's long, complex, special characters. And if you want to be a rock star, you can add a number after the word. So your password to Facebook was hold me Jack, exclamation mark, photos 1.
Nice.
Okay? Are you impressed? Because I'm impressed.
Yeah, I will use this 20 times.
Okay, before I finish, there's just one thing that we have to clear, okay?
Okay.
Why are you looking at me so funny?
I feel something coming.
What kind of password should you have a different algorithm for? There's one password that's more important than any other password. Bank? Who said bank? Wrong. Who said email? Yes. Why email?
Because everything comes together in your emails, in your inbox.
Everything comes together.
Like probably most of the people have their passwords in their email things and intertwined.
I think I'm going to translate what you're saying to normal language so they understand. All your accounts are registered to that email address. So if you forget your password to Facebook or Skype or Twitter or YouPorn or whatever, you press the forget password. What happens? There's a link being sent to that email, or the worst case scenario, new password is being sent to that email, right?
So that's the most important one.
Yeah, but you should also maybe you should have a different themes. Maybe not hold me Jack, maybe use something else.
Okay.
Luke, I'm your father. Or whatever. Obi-Wan Jacobi. But there's tons of different ways. I don't have enough time, but I can talk to you guys later. There's different types of hacks. Give him a big round of applause. Thank you, Niels. So you have to use a personal character, powers of association, and we hacked the passwords. But there's tons of different ways where you can think like this. Just think in a different way to improve your security, in the way you teach security to your children. Because right now we're teaching them things it's wrong, okay? It's wrong. It's 2016 now. Things change. We have to change. And we have to work together. Okay? Thank you.